Stories HDTV presenting Green Book. This is a true story of 1962. This was a time when there was a lot of discrimination between whites and blacks. At the same time, a bouncer named Tony Lip is shown. He lost his job for a few months due to the renovation of his club. Two black men come to work at Tony's house, which Tony's wife gives in a glass to drink something. Tony does not like this at all, because he also has hatred in his heart towards blacks. That's why after those black people leave, Tony throws the glass in which they drank something in the dustbin. The next day Tony receives a call, informing him that Dr. Don Shirley needs a driver. If he wants a job, then he has to come for that interview. When Tony goes for the interview, he sees that Dr. Don Shirley is a black man who is very rich and lives a luxurious life. Tony is surprised to see him because at this time black people did not get rich. Dr. Shirley tells him that I'm a pianist, I'll have a concert for 8 weeks. For which I have to go from Midwest to Deep South. I need a driver. I've heard a lot about you. You can handle any situation with ease. I can pay you $100 a week. Also living and eating everything by my side. $100 a week is a good price. But when Shirley says that my driver has to wash my clothes and polish my shoes as well. So Tony stands up. He says that I can only do the work of a driver, nothing else. Saying this, Tony leaves from there. Now the next morning Tony gets a call from Shirley. He tells her that I agree to all your terms, you will only drive the car for me. Although Tony doesn't want to do the job, because Shirley is a black man. But he needs money, so Tony has to say yes even if he doesn't want to. Tony now goes to pick up Shirley, where Shirley's assistant gives Tony a booklet with the keys to the vehicles, which is named Green Book. The Green Book contains the numbers of hotels and restaurants where black people can stay and eat. In fact, at this time, black people can't go to every restaurant and every hotel. Now it is ready to travel, but Tony does not pick up Shirley's luggage and put it in the car, because he would just drive for them. Other than that, nothing will work for them. Seeing this, the Shirley servant comes and gets the goods. From the beginning of the journey, there is no difference between these two. Tony smokes cigarettes and eat food here. Shirley forbids him to smoke a cigarette. Thought he does not throw the cigarette right away, but after a few moments. From here it reaches its first concert. Shirley tells Tony that there are big people inside, you have to behave well there. You have to use your language well. Actually, Tony language is very rough. Tony says it's better rather stay out. She says it's okay, it's good for you. While Shirley doesn't understand others better than himself. Tony also doesn't want to introduce any etiquette in this language on his conduct. There's a big wall between these two. Now concert begin where Shirley play the piano very well. Wants Tony inside for a while where he is very impressed by Shirley talent. Because Shirley plays the piano very well. After the concert Shirley looks for Tony to reach a place where Tony is gambling with the rest of the servant. Shirley tells Tony, if you need more money you can ask me. Tony se look I won. Shirley says you could have lost too. Tony says it's not just about money here, everyone has playing to pass their time. Shirley says others doesn't have the choice to go in, but you had. Now he'll leaves for his next concert and stop at a shop on the way, where Tony see there are lots of stones to sell. One of them fell down and Tony picks it up and put it in his pocket, which is seen by Shirley's musician, who is on tour with him but is in a different car. He tells this to Shirley, and when Tony sits in the car, seller tells him that you stole the stone from there. Tony says that I did not tell anything, the stone was lying on the ground, I just keep it as my lucky charm. Shirley says either you give her money or get her back. Tony says why should I do this? Shirley says you will love doing this. Although Tony does not want to take the Shirley insistence force him to put the stone back. Now they move on their second concert and Tony goes where Shirley has to play his music. He sees that the piano is very dirty as well as he sees that the statement written in the contract are not here. Tony tells the in-charge there that said we placed the Stand V Company piano. As it is written in the contract, where is the piano, the in-charge says that this is only here. And we ain't gonna in-charge that. Tony gets angry at him and kicks him with a drag. After which we are shown that Shirley is playing the piano of Stand V Company. After the concert they leave for another concert. Tony's discrimination against Shirley is far from over. Where earlier they argued with each other and now they talk to each other well. Tell each other about your family. Now the way he sees KFC from where to buy a lot of kitchens, he also had to eat kitchen from Shirley, but he says that he can't eat like this in car. He need a proper plate and table to eat. But Tony tell him that you should also eat like this, you should enjoy every moment. Your food is like that, the last meal of your life. Tony says you didn't eat kitchen, throw it on you. And they caught the chicken and he eats the chicken like a Tony, both of them enjoy the chicken. Shirley says where should I throw the bone, Tony opens the car window on and throws the bone. Shirley does the same, but when Tony can take out the cold drink glass Shirley tells him to pick it back, then Tony picks it up. Now the two who were ego for each other and they argued is almost over. At the end of night they have to reach the egg motive from the Green Book where they have to stay. When Tony is in his room he is told that Shirley needs you. Tony goes to a bar where sees Shirley being tortured by some white man. Actually the bar here belongs to white people. Tony asks them to leave Shirley, but he doesn't want to leave Shirley. And Tony says if you don't leave this man, he'll scold you. He puts his hand back, and only then the bar owner outside also bullet to Tony. And there he asks these people who have caught Shirley to leave him. Tony takes Shirley away from here with him. Tony tells Shirley death will not go without me. Shirley asks Tony if you have gun, Tony says no, I have no gun. Where it's leave the next morning for the next concert where their car breaks down. And when the car breaks down, and Tony and Shirley walk out, the black people working around the farm are shocked to see it. Of a white man working for a black man. It's a big deal these days. After this they move on the next concert, where they are welcomed by all. Shirley has to go to the washroom in the middle of the counselor at night. But he is refused to use the washroom here. There's a dirty little washroom outside. Shirley is told you can go there. But he refused. Shirley says I would like to go to my hotel. After this he comes to his hotel only to do the washroom. What Tony does not understand at all, Tony tells Shirley that you could do the washroom somewhere in the bushes. Shirley says you won't understand at all. Shirley from hotel contact and finishing his show. The next morning it is shown that Sony is written a letter to his wife. Actually he was repeatedly writing to his wife because she is missing her a lot. Sala sees his letter and says that you have spelling dear as dear. Tony's letter has too many spelling mistakes. Along with this he has also used abused language in his letter. That's why Shirley says that what I tell you is to be written. And after this a lot tells Tony what he should write in the letter. Tony's wife is very happy after reading this letter. Because there are many romantic things written in it which Tony had never written before. At night when they reach the next town and Tony is changing his clothes he gets a call from the police station. Tony is told that Shirley has been arrested. When Tony sees the police station that Shirley is tied up in completely nude condition. Here Tony understands that Shirley is Guy. Tony gets Shirley free by bribing them. Shirley doesn't like the fact that he bribed the policeman. That's why he argues with her. Tony says that instead of thanking me, you are arguing with me. Those people will end your career forever. Tony and Shirley get annoyed with each other. Shown the next morning they arrive at hotel for next concert. Where Tony meets his friends and they look like he's working for a black man. Those people tell him that you leave this man's work, we will give you a better job than this. Where you will get better money than this. Tony says no, I am already booked. I have a good job. Tell his friend you meet me outside at 8 p.m. At 8 p.m., when Tony was going to the bar, Shirley says that you did your job well. Why don't you become my road trip manager? I will double your salary, just don't leave your job. Tony says I have committed to you, I will not leave the job till this concert is over. I'm just going to visit my friends. Tony Shirley apologizes to him for the night when he's gone. Also thanks to him for his help, the relationship between become very good with each other. These two have respect for each other in their eyes, from where they leave after finishing the concert. It is raining a lot at night, so I lose my way, only then the police stop them. He looks like a white man is driving a car for a black man. He doesn't like it at all. He says that Suntown City and no Negro can roam at night. Although Tony refuses, Shirley is also taken out in the rain, which reveals Tony's name to the cops. Tony Lunga. So the policeman says, what is this name then? He says, I am an Italian. Maybe you're half Negro, so you're working for a black man. Tony gets angry to hear that. Tony punches the cop. They are arrested. Shirley says, let me call my lawyer, or do I have a right? He is allowed to call. Shortly after he receives a call from the governor, he says that both of should be released. The policemen have to leave them even if they do not want to. Shirley says that you should not have raised the hands of the cops. Tony says that he is smart to take us out in the rain or not, he's half Negro, so you raised your hand on him. I feel here every day. Tony says, you are rich, I am a bat on the streets, my world is darker than you. You don't know how black people like you live life. What language do you speak? Shirley doesn't like this thing and gets out of a car. Tony also goes after him. Shirley tells, yes, I'm rich, I play piano for rich white guys, pay me money, but I'm apart from his party like. I am like every other Negro to them, neither do I accept white people nor do I have to accept my black people. Because I am different to my people as well. Here Tony is aware of Shirley's misery. They stay in a hotel where they have to stay in the same room. Next day is their last concert, which is in Alabama. They reach there. Their welcome is good, but there is discrimination against him. He is not allowed to change in room white people. He is not given entry even in the dining room of the hotel where all the white people were eating. Shirley does not like this thing at all. He says, either I will eat here, will not parfum here tonight. The hotel owner takes Tony away and says, I will give you $100, just explain to Mr. Shirley because there are so many white people sitting here. They will never accept that having dinner with a black man makes Tony very angry. And he catches her. Then there Shirley comes. He says, Tony, leave her. If you want me to play piano here, I am ready for it. Tony says, let's go and get out of here, and it will reach a restaurant where all the Negro people are. Actually no one comes here in white, everyone is surprised to see Tony. Here's what Tony tells Equator, that salary is a very good painst. She requests Shirley to play the piano. Shirley plays the piano very well and all the Negroes enjoy that very much. Shirley also enjoys playing the piano here. He tells Tony, I should do this once a month. Now he wants to get out of here so that by Christmas the 25th he can reach New York, Shirley's house. Then Tony takes out his gun and fires two in the air. Actually 2 Negro were taking out their car stuff. He runs away from the sound of gunfire and Shirley also gets panicked. Shirley says, I knew you had a gun. Now they both leave for New York. On the way says Shirley, I know you still have that stone I told you to put back in the shop, deck board the car. Tony puts that stone on the tax board. Actually he didn't even put it back. Shirley and the two of you understand each other, have become good friends. The discrimination that existed between them has actually ended completely. Shirley somehow wants Tony to come home on Christmas Day where everyone is waiting for him. That's why Shirley makes Tony sleep after driving himself and drives him to his house. Tony says that you also come. But he goes to the hotel. All Tony's friends and his family are very happy to see him. Shirley is shown who is alone in the hotel. Tony wanted Shirley to be with his family on Christmas Day. When Tony approaches the door, he is overjoyed to see Shirley and hugs her. Tony introduces Shirley to his family and friends. Initially everyone is shocked, but after some time everything becomes normal. After that you introduce him to your wife. She hugs him and says in her ear, thanks for the letter. Actually he knows that whatever letters Tony has written, Shirley has got them written. Hearing this brings a smile on Shirley's face as well. With this the Green Book, which is a true story, ends. This story teaches us that human beings are discriminated against and human beings are the same. Everyone's conversational lifestyle may be different, but everyone's feeling is the same. Just as we cannot change the color of blood and tears, we cannot change the fact that whoever created this world created everyone equal. Just humans have separated the thinking of humans from them. The film won 3 Oscars, including one for Best Picture. This film was released in the year 2018 and it has a rating of 8.2 on IMDb. The budget of this film was $23 million and it earned $322 million at the box office. Hope you liked this true story. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I will be looking forward to upload more new interesting stories, so don't forget to hit the bell icon.